Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining in with me on this brief ministry update. Wanted to just fill you in a little bit about our Faith Grows campaign. First of all, thanks to over 250 who came to our different Inform events. It was a great opportunity for fellowship, but also an opportunity to learn more, to ask questions, share input, and we appreciate the time that you took so that you could be a part of those. We did have some people who shared that they weren't able to attend. Some are homebound, some were traveling, some had other conflicts, and they were wondering if we could do this online. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to give a brief little presentation that we shared at these Inform events so that you can be up to speed on things as well. As you know by now, there's a twofold focus of our Faith Grows campaign. One is a faith focus, and what we're looking at is finding ways that we can help gather people together, encourage people together, and serve together. In other words, we want to bring people in, build people back up, and then send people out in service, which is something that our Lord calls us to do and our culture needs so much these days. So that's the first part, the faith focus. The next part has to do with the expansion of our campus and our ministries, and I want to just talk a little bit about each of those pieces, starting with the chapel. The chapel will be on the north side of the campus, so if you park on that north parking lot, you would see the outside of the chapel with the stained glass. The stained glass is designed to portray the life and ministry of Jesus while he was here on this earth. And the chapel seats about 250 people. It does have a choir loft where the choir will be, also a handbell choir, and organ, piano, harp, of course, and there's additional seating up there as well. We see a lot of ways that the chapel will be used. First of all, for multiple traditional services on Sunday. We know some people love the traditional worship, but they really don't like having to be here at 8 o'clock. So we can actually have a later traditional service as well. It would also be used for our midweek services, for Lenten services, some of our Holy Week services, of course, weddings, baptisms, memorial services, and funerals. And it also can be a good place for us to host recitals and concerts. And so there are a lot of different ways we'll be able to utilize that. The next piece, which wasn't in the booklet because we didn't get the designs back in time, is a covered courtyard area. We want to really turn that into a more usable space as a faith plaza. And by having a shaded structure there that also could have electricity for lights, fans, heating, we could use that not only more often through the year, but also in the evenings. We do a number of outreach events in the evenings where the lighting would be especially helpful. And with our outdoor events, having that shade could make a big difference. And I know we already have staff with a lot of ideas for how that whole area could be used. Now, the other piece, which will be on the south side of the campus, is the memorial garden with the columbarium niches. The way that's designed is there are 3 walls that have columbarium inserts, and there are a total of 408 niches. Each niche is 12 inches wide by 12 inches high by 16 inches deep, which makes room for multiple urns. And then on the granite plate that goes in front of the door for each niche, that's where we would engrave the names and the dates. The doors are locked for each niche, and there's also a security gate that we would be placing there as well. And as you've seen, if you've looked at the pictures, we have a beautiful marble tile mosaic that we're going to be putting in there of Jesus coming out of the tomb. So the first thing people think of when they walk into that area is the fact that Jesus has conquered death for himself and for us. So that's been a very special piece that we're going to add to it. A number of questions have been raised regarding the niches. How much do they cost? Can we reserve them? Right now, we don't know the cost. If you are interested in them, you can actually go on our Church Center app and sign up saying you're interested, and we can get back with you at a later time. Our focus right now is on the capital campaign and seeing how that goes, because then that will determine what we actually will build. This is a $4.5 million campaign, and we don't want to take out long-term debt for construction. So we're going to wait and see how the commitments come in, and then that will determine what we'll build. And once we know that, then we can make more decisions. Some questions have come up about how the campaign works. Right now, we're kind of wrapping up the informed stage of the campaign. Soon we'll be moving into a commitment phase, and we're going to have an initial commitment event on November 1st. So if you're a person who would like to kind of lead the charge, lay the foundation to give us some good momentum for the campaign, that'll be an evening that you'll want to join us, and you'll hear more about that in the near future. Then on November 12th and 13th, that's when we actually will have the commitment celebration weekend, where everyone can bring commitments forward for this campaign. After that's done, then we'll know how much has come in, and then we'll go from there. If you have questions about the campaign, feel free to call or email me. I'd be glad to talk with you and answer any questions you have. And if you haven't had a chance to pick up one of the campaign booklets, we certainly would encourage you to do that. We also keep the frequently asked questions sheet updated, not only hard copy, but on our website. So please check that out too, so you can stay up to speed on what all is happening. Our prayer is that God will lead and guide us in what He would have us do next. And we continue to surround this campaign with prayer. In fact, on October 15th at 10 o'clock, we're going to have a prayer walk around this campus on the sidewalk. So if you'd like to join us and pray, not just for this campaign, but for our overall ministry, we'd love to have you join us. Get a little physical exercise, and you can get some spiritual exercise in the process. Thanks for spending this time with me. I hope this maybe answered some of your questions. Again, if you still have questions, feel free to give me a call or email me, and we'll just see what God has in store as our faith grows. Thank you.